Sup my dudes, Valk here, and today I'm going to show you the proverbial nail in the coffin for Lost Warrior. This is the thing that kind of makes Lost Warrior kind of tournament unviable. There are ways around this, and I will show, but for the most part, I want to show to you guys today what's called fuzzy. What is called, like, forcing someone to fuzzy block, etc. It's where you throw low, essentially. You force someone to block stun, and that way you can then do instant overheads against tall characters. It only happens to 3 characters in the game, to my knowledge. Could be wrong. Lost Warrior, Hitman, and Crusader. Now, how this works, if I can do this right, I don't play strikers, so keep that in mind, but obviously I messed that up there. There you go, you can see. That is an instant overhead that a lot of strikers can do just as reaction. Now, Striker, I don't think that this is the fastest overhead that she can probably do. You gotta be at the right range for it. But you can see, this is an overhead. It would be kind of hard to block this, a little bit. Now, I want you to factor in any rollback frames you might have online, and I also want you to factor in 4-frame input delay on console, 2-frame input delay on PC. You can start to see where it's starting to become a little bit of an issue. So let's go ahead and let's swap characters. I want to show you that it's not just Striker. This is a very big issue that a lot of characters can take advantage of and absolutely abuse the ever-living hell out of Lost Warrior, is what's been happening to me in a lot of tournaments and a lot of scenarios. Now, Lost Warrior's real only option to deal with this is dodge roll. You're not going to react to this. You're not. Not in the way that they can do it. It looks like that if they do basically... So here with Dragon Knight, let's say Dragon Knight specifically, they do... Well, not that. But they do the low, right? They can go low, right into it. Well... I don't mess up the input because I don't play Dragon Knight, but you can see that. Low into it, into a light. That is a 6-frame overhead. This is 6 frames. So, low into 6-frame overhead is essentially what you can do. I don't play Dragon Knight, so excuse me for making mistakes, but her 6-frame overhead, if you calculate, or if you add in 4-frame input delay, then you add in any rollback frames, you're literally not reacting to it. It's actually impossible. It doesn't matter how good reaction are, best reaction in the world, you're not reacting to that. Because here comes the mix. Here comes the messed up part. You either have your choice between a low into a 5-frame overhead, or 6-frame overhead, low into 6-frame overhead, or a low into another low, which is also 5 frames. Which means you have 2 unreactable moves that you have to choose from. They can either delay and do another low, or they can delay and do an instant overhead. This right here that a lot of characters can take advantage of, and I do mean a lot can take advantage of it. It's not just Striker and Dragon Knight. It is a ton of characters that can take advantage of fuzzy and just absolutely abuse the ever-living hell out of Lost Warrior to the point where your only real way to get out of it, like I said, is dodge roll. It's not just 1 or 2 characters. It's a good portion of the cast, actually, that just absolutely destroys Lost Warrior to the point where you're not losing. You're not losing because of your character choice, right? I gotta see what move it was. I don't remember exactly what move that they do it. Isn't a move he only gets an awakening? Yeah, it's this one. But yeah, you see he does this, instant overhead. His is 7 frames, so take that as you will. But yeah. That instant overhead, 7 frames. Take it as you will. It's basically a bunch of characters can do the exact same thing, just abuse the ever-living hell out of Lost Warrior. And after having that happen to me and realizing how very little counterplay I have to deal with this and how impossible the situation is, how much it throws up all my matchup knowledge out the window because of this one thing that they can abuse. And I want you guys to abuse on Lost Warrior so it gets fixed. So if you see me, feel free to abuse this. That's the only way it's going to get fixed if it becomes an actual issue. But I want you guys to abuse the hell out of it and get it fixed because, yes, I understand fuzzy guarding is a thing in a lot of anime fighters. I understand it's a thing in a lot of fighting games. But for a character who has the worst frame data in the game, who has very little defensive options, at this point it feels excessive. The fact that that is an actual thing that happens, that, you know, we not only have no defensive options, we not only have the worst frame data in the game, but we also get fuzzied by instant overheads that are unreactable, and you have to choose between, once again, a super fast low going twice, or whenever he's an awakening, this. So 1, 2, you can choose either between one of those or this. That's your pick. And you're not reacting to either. So the only way you can get out of it is they do it once and then you dodge roll. But then if they do this, you're dead. You're eating that entire combo. But you have to pick. You have to pick. You have to pick one. It's a very true mix that's only really applicable to Lost Warrior. Because let's take, for example, the other two tall characters, Crusader and Hitman. Like I said, I believe Hitman's on this list. That's what I was told at the very least. That Hitman is on the list. But Crusader and Hitman, let's consider both of them as well. For Crusader and Hitman, Crusader has super armor at the wazoo. He has a DP, he has a super armor shield, he has a 15 frame wall, he's plus on everything, you block everything. Light into wall, into light wall. That is a true sequence, you cannot do anything but block that. And then we have Hitman, who has the best DP in the game. So that leaves only Lost Warrior as the sole last character who just is going to get absolutely dookied on and pooped on by these things that are unreactable. So you actually cannot play defense as Lost Warrior against anybody who has any idea what they're doing at all. You cannot play defense as Lost Warrior because they're just going to murk you. You have to get the hell out of there. You have to run away. Because if they know to fuzzy you because you are a tall character, you're dead. There's no reacting to it. The guessing is the one of three things, and your only answer is dodge rolling, which they can predict, and then they can just throw a light and combo off of you on. Lost Warrior on defense is virtually impossible. As somebody that really, really likes this character, I'm going to be fair and honest with you guys and tell you that I fully believe, after having this done to me for about 3-4 days now at the highest of levels, this character is easily the worst character in the game. Because not even though Launcher, like, it's always between Launcher and Lost Warrior for me about who's the worst character. Even though Launcher's damage is absolute dog, because she starts everything with a light and proration absolutely messes with it, at least she doesn't get this happen to her, right? And this makes it very unplayable. Very, very unplayable. Let me go ahead and show you the setup I was talking about before, about how the only thing you can really do as Lost Warrior is really dodge roll. And even then it doesn't work. It doesn't always work. Here, I'll give a common setup that was happening to me in a tournament that just ate my lunch every time because I didn't know the answer was dodge roll at the time. Didn't know what to do about it. But at the same time, like I said, dodge roll isn't always the answer because it doesn't always work. Astra can still clip you. There's a bunch of issues with it. So let's go ahead and swap controllers real quick because of the stupid recording and playback feature. You have to have two controllers. So we're going to turn to selected action, turn it to this, and we're going to make sure we are right in the corner. And then we're going to go ahead and pop this off. And you can see this. That's the combo that would happen. Except they would wait for Astra to go off, they would block, they would delay it a little bit more. And actually they would use Astra as a meaty. They would summon Astra as a wake up option, so I have to immediately wake up and block, and I was right into this. So the only way out, they summon Astra, they throw that one low, and then I dodge roll. That is the only way out. Okay, but there's an issue with that. There's a little bit of an issue. If you mistime this whatsoever, Astra will clip you and she will get full combo regardless for you to go back in the corner. And there's also that Astra can clip you coming out of it. You have to hold the guard button there. You have to just dodge roll and hold the guard button immediately because Astra hits from both sides. It's a natural cross up, so if you're not holding the guard button, you get hit by that. But if you're just trying to react, if you're just sitting here like, okay, wake up, I'm going to wait and guard break. Let's guard break. Oh, look at that. I converted instead because I wasn't in block string technically. So you can't guard break that, or you can't guard cancel that string either. Can't guard cancel, you can't, all thing you can do is just eat it. You have to dodge roll. And then that throws you in the mix of whether or not she's just going to follow it up with lights, which will clip you, or you get out, one of the two, and then you're back to neutral. And yeah, yep, Lost Warrior is easily the worst character in the game. I don't care what people say about his damage because his damage doesn't matter if he's dead. And You're going to die very quickly once people realize that this happens, and more people start abusing it. But to me, that's the last nail in the coffin for Lost Warriors tournament viability. I don't think you'll see a Lost Warrior top as long as anybody that knows this goes to these tournaments and uses characters that specifically just absolutely dumpster on Lost Warriors, specifically Dragon Knight, Striker, Berserker, Ranger. Ranger can't do the setups. He can't, as far as I know, Ranger doesn't fuzzy, but everyone else pretty much does. And then, yeah, basically Dragon Knight, Striker, and Berserker, one of the 3 toughest matchups for Lost Warrior because they can fuzzy you in the corner and you'll just die. That's all there is to it. I'm sure there's more characters that can, but those are the 3 main ones that do it to me, and God, does it make this matchup not fun at all. It makes me not want to play this character. It makes me want to pick up a secondary because I realize that this is more a character disparity than anything else, and it feels really, really, really bad. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm not trying to doom post. I want to put this out there so more people abuse this information against Lost Warriors so it gets fixed. I don't want it to be under the radar. I want this to be very open and public knowledge so we can get either defense. They can keep the fuzzy blocking, but for the love of God, give us some defensive options to deal with this shit. Give us something, man. I'm begging you. I'm begging. Give me anything to deal with this shit. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.